Have you ever noticed that life hurts you more when you care too much about it? Not the pain itself, not the situation, not the people, but your attachment to it. Because the truth is, life doesn't destroy you. Your reaction to it does. And this is something Marcus Aurelius understood better than most men who have ever lived. A man who ruled an empire while surrounded by betrayal, war, disease, and death. And yet, he wrote something shocking. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. Think about that. Not the event, not the loss, not the insult. Your estimate, your judgment, your attachment. That is what hurts you. 1. The illusion of control. Most people live their entire lives trying to control things they were never meant to control. They try to control how people treat them, what others think about them, how life unfolds. And when reality refuses to obey, they suffer. But Stoicism teaches something uncomfortable. You were never in control to begin with, and the more you try to control life, the more it breaks you. Because life is not designed to obey your expectations. It moves, it changes, it takes, it gives. And when you cling to it, you suffer. 2. Why caring too much destroys you. Let's be honest. Most of your pain doesn't come from life itself. It comes from how deeply you care about things that are unstable. You care too much about people who can leave, outcomes you cannot guarantee, situations you cannot predict. And when they shift, you feel like your world is collapsing. But here's the truth. The more you depend on something, the more power it has over you. And that is why Stoics practiced something radical. They learned to care less. Not because they were cold, not because they were emotionless, but because they understood something deeper. Attachment is the root of unnecessary suffering. Let me tell you something most people don't fully understand about Marcus Aurelius. He wasn't just a philosopher sitting in peace, writing ideas about life. He was living in chaos. He became emperor of Rome, one of the most powerful positions in the world. But his life was far from easy. His empire was constantly at war. A deadly plague swept through Rome. People he trusted betrayed him. Many of his children died. Imagine that. Power, yet no peace. Control, yet constant loss. And still, in the middle of all this suffering, he wrote private notes to himself. Not for fame, not for the world, but just to survive his own thoughts. These writings later became what we now know as meditations. And in them, you don't find a man complaining. You find a man reminding himself. You have power over your mind, not outside events. That was his shield. That was his survival. 3. The Stoic secret. Care less, live more. Now, care less doesn't mean become lazy, stop trying, stop feeling. That's a misunderstanding. What it really means is this: stop giving emotional control to things outside you. Because every time you say, "I need this to go my way," you are handing your peace away. Instead, Stoicism teaches, do your best, accept the outcome, stay internally stable. This is what makes a person powerful. Not control over life, but control over themselves. 4. Detachment is freedom. Imagine this for a moment. What if you could go through life without being shaken by every little thing? Someone insults you, you remain calm. Something goes wrong, you adapt. Life changes, you stay grounded. That's not weakness, that's power. And it only comes when you detach, because when you care less about outcomes, you become fearless. There is nothing life can take from you that you have already mentally released. 5. Why this is hard. Let's be real, this is not easy, because humans are wired to attach, expect, desire. We want things to go our way. We want certainty. We want control. But Stoicism asks you to do the opposite, to stand in uncertainty without losing yourself, to face loss without breaking, to experience life without clinging to it. So the question is not, why does life hurt me? The real question is, why am I holding on to things that were never mine to keep? 6. Training your mind to care less. Caring less is not something you suddenly decide. It is something you train, because your mind has been conditioned for years to react, to panic, to overthink, to attach meaning to everything. So when life hurts, your first instinct is not calm, it is resistance. But Stoicism teaches something powerful. You don't control your first reaction, but you control what happens next. And that is where your freedom begins. 7. The pause that saves you. There is a small space between what happens to you and how you respond. Most people never notice it. They react instantly. Someone disrespects them, anger. Something goes wrong, frustration. They feel pain, emotional collapse. But a Stoic does something different. They pause, even if just for a second. And in that second, they ask themselves, is this worth my peace? That question alone can save you from so much unnecessary suffering, because most things are not worth it. 8. Your thoughts are exaggerating everything. When life hurts you, your mind doesn't just observe it, it amplifies it. It tells you, this is terrible, this shouldn't be happening, this will ruin everything. But these are not facts, they are interpretations. And this is exactly what Marcus Aurelius warned himself about. He constantly reminded himself, you are not upset because of reality. You are upset because of the story you are telling yourself about reality. And once you see this, everything changes. 9. Separate events from meaning. Let's break it down simply. There are two things, what happens and what you think about what happens. Most people mix them together. Example, someone ignores you. That is the event. But then your mind says, they don't respect me. I'm not important. Something is wrong with me. Now you are suffering, not because of the event, but because of the meaning you created. A Stoic separates them. They see the event for what it is. Someone didn't respond. Nothing more. No story, no emotional weight. And because of that, they remain calm. 10. The Stoic exercise of reduction. This is one of the most powerful mental techniques you can learn. When something hurts you, strip it down to its simplest form. Don't describe it emotionally, describe it factually. Instead of saying, this is a disaster, you say, this is an inconvenience. Instead of, they betrayed me, you say, they acted according to their nature. This removes the emotional poison and brings you back to clarity. 11. Accepting human nature. One of the biggest reasons life hurts you is because you expect people to be better than they are. You expect loyalty from the disloyal, honesty from the dishonest, maturity from the immature, and when they fail, you feel shocked. But Marcus Aurelius wrote something powerful. Begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, and unsocial. Not to become negative, but to become prepared. Because when you expect human imperfection, you stop being surprised by it. And when you stop being surprised, you stop suffering from it. 12. Let life flow. Life is like a river. It moves, it changes, it does not stop for you. But most people try to fight the current. They say, this shouldn't be happening. I want things to stay the same. But the more you resist life, the more it drags you. Stoicism teaches, flow with it, not passively, but intelligently. Do what you can, accept what you cannot, and move forward without emotional resistance. 13. Detach from outcomes. This is where most people fail. They do the work, but they are emotionally attached to the result. They say, I must succeed. This has to work.
I need this outcome, and when it doesn't happen, they collapse. But a Stoic operates differently. They focus on effort, discipline, action, and they release the outcome, because the outcome was never fully in their control. This is how you stay stable in an unstable world. 14. Pain is part of the process. Here's the truth most people avoid. Life will hurt you. No matter how stoic you become, no matter how disciplined you are, pain is part of the experience. But suffering, that is optional. Pain is what happens. Suffering is what you add to it. And when you learn to care less, you remove the unnecessary suffering. 15. Becoming emotionally untouchable. Imagine reaching a point where insults don't shake you, loss doesn't.
17. People act according to their nature. Think about it. A dishonest person will lie. A selfish person will take. A weak person will betray. That is their nature. So, when they act this way, why are you surprised? Why are you hurt as if they were supposed to be different? This is where suffering begins, in false expectations. But when you truly understand human nature, you stop taking things personally. You start seeing clearly. 18. Detaching from people. This is difficult because as humans, we crave connection. We want loyalty. We want to feel valued. But the moment your peace depends on someone else, you become vulnerable. Not in a healthy way, but in a fragile way. Stoicism teaches, care about people, but do not depend on them. Appreciate them, but do not attach your identity to them, because people change, feelings change, and if your stability is tied to something unstable, you will always suffer. 19. Rejection is not what you think. Rejection feels like you are not good enough, you are not chosen, you are not valued, but that is not reality. That is interpretation. Rejection simply means something did not align, that's all. It is not a judgment of your worth. It is not a definition of who you are. But when you care too much about being accepted, every rejection feels like destruction, and that is why learning to care less frees you. 20. Let people go. One of the hardest lessons in life is this: not everyone is meant to stay. Some people enter your life to teach you, to challenge you, to reveal something about yourself, and then they leave. But instead of accepting this, most people hold on. They chase, they beg, they try to force what is already gone, and in doing so, they destroy their own peace. A Stoic does something different. They let go. Not because they don't care, but because they understand. What leaves was never truly yours. 21. The power of silence. When life hurts, most people react. They argue, they explain, they try to prove themselves. But there is a different kind of strength. Silence. Not weak silence, not passive silence, but controlled silence. The kind that says, I don't need to react to everything. Because the more you react, the more control others have over you, and the less you react, the more power you gain over yourself. 22. Stop explaining yourself. This is something many people struggle with. They feel the need to justify their actions, explain their decisions, make others understand them. But why? Why are you seeking approval from people who don't even understand themselves? Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, you don't need everyone to agree with you. You don't need everyone to understand you. You only need to act according to your principles, and that is enough. 23. Emotional independence. This is the goal. To reach a point where your mood is not controlled by others, your peace is not dependent on outcomes, your identity is not shaped by opinions. This is emotional independence, and it changes everything. Because when you are emotionally independent, you stop chasing,
you stop needing, you stop fearing loss, and in that moment, you become free. 24. The cost of caring too much. Let's be honest, caring too much has cost you. It has drained your energy. It has affected your peace. It has made you overthink things that don't matter. And for what? For people who didn't value you? For outcomes you couldn't control? For situations that didn't last? At some point, you have to ask yourself, is this worth it? 25. Choosing peace over attachment. There comes a moment in life where you get tired, not physically, but mentally. Tired of overthinking, chasing, caring too much. And in that moment, you have a choice. Continue the same pattern or choose peace. But peace requires something difficult, letting go. Letting go of expectations, attachments, the need for control. And when you do, something changes. Life becomes lighter. 26. You become different. When you start caring less, people will notice. They will say, "You've changed, you're different now." And they're right, you are different, because you are no longer reacting the same way. You are no longer available for chaos. You are no longer easy to disturb, and that makes you powerful. Finally, so ask yourself, how much of your pain comes from holding on to people you should have let go? This is just the beginning. Watch the next video to master yourself. This is the eternal discipline. Subscribe to the eternal discipline to be unstoppable.